When I land, I call her. It goes right to voicemail. I'm like, damn. Call her again, goes right to voicemail. So I text her. Green bubbles. I'm like, that's strange. I'm like, hold on. Call from my other phone. Or no, sorry. I get on Instagram. Type in her name. No user found. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So I'm like, I should call her from my other phone because she don't got that number. That ain't blocked. I call. Hello? I was like, wow. Click. Blocked on that number too. I'm like, yo, that's really crazy. Like,
Alright, so boom, check it. Now ain't that how every great story start out? Now why would mine be any different? These are the Chronicles of Mike Murphy.
welcome back to another episode of the Chronicles of Mike Murphy with your narrator, comedian Mike Murphy. If you ask me, I'm one of the best to do it when it comes to this storytelling shit, but that's in my humble opinion. Now, before we move on, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Like, share, comment. Tell a friend and tell a friend, man. Any support you contribute helps to grow this channel, and I greatly appreciate it, man, because I wouldn't be able to do this without all the viewers out there, so thank you. This episode is part 3 of a 3-part episode where I tell you how I took 3 L's back-to-back 3 weekends in a row when it came to dating the ladies. And the first weekend was Father's Day weekend, flew a shorty out. That went sideways. The last episode, I talked about how I got invited to a party at Palm Springs, did Molly and got kicked out. Go check that out if you haven't. And in this episode, I want to tell you how I flew all the way to Atlanta, Georgia to meet a woman that I had been talking to for months, only to find out I'm blocked on everything. But before I tell you that, I got to take you back to what led up to these unfortunate series of events. So, I believe it was, I can't remember what year it was, but I went to Brooklyn one time to visit my man KB, and we was getting ready to go to the club. We was over his boy's crib, and that dude's cousin was there. And I ain't gonna lie, when I walked in, she was better than a 2-year-old, finer than frog hair. That joint was crazy. She had red lipstick on, a red dress. She looked flawless. I was like, damn. So as soon as I saw her, I was like, yo, I want her, right? She had a dude or whatever. I didn't even really say nothing, you know what I mean? I got her Instagram, start following her. That was it. She was posting this dude all the time, everything. They moved from Brooklyn, I believe, to Atlanta. I don't even know what year. They had a baby together, a son, the happy family. I'm like, they doing their thing or whatever. So I'm very observant, and I got an eye for, she ain't posting him no more. Maybe she's single. So I ain't seen that dude on her page in like a year. And the last post was like a Father's Day shout out, and it was a little bit dry, low key. Like they went together, but she was still acknowledging him like that. So I started hitting her up. You know what I mean? How you doing? I'm good. We on Instagram messaging back and forth. You know what I mean? Everything is, going swell. I'm like, damn, I might really get the bagger now. Like, she's showing me mad attention. She can't be with dude no more. And I don't even ask her because my rule was this. I'm not asking you if you have a man. Your actions will tell me whether you want to entertain me or not. If you got a dude, that's on you. So if we messing around and you got a man, that's your problem, not mine. So I don't even ask. I'm just assuming she is. We kicking it, talking, all that's good, right? So I take the L on Father's Day. I take another L the weekend after that. Now the 4th of July is coming up. My man RHK, free him. He in the feds right now, doing a dime piece. But at this point, he's out. He getting money. He living in, you know what I mean? He eating. He like, yo, bro, I'm going to Vegas for the 4th of July. Why don't you meet me out there? Because I'm 3 hours away. I'm in LA. I'm like, bet. He's like, yo, I'm bringing this shorty. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be a third wheel. You know what I'm saying? He was like, all right, well, if you change your mind, let me know. I'm like, bet. So then I think about her. I'm like, yo, you want to come to Vegas? I'll fly you out. I'll get you your own room because I ain't trying to have the same situation as I did with shorty in Arizona. So with this girl, I'm like, yo, I'm going to get you your own room. I'll get my own room. And then if we happen to get together, whatever, cool. But I don't want you to feel like, that. I'm like, I'll get you your own room or whatever. She's like, damn, I really want to go, but I got my son and I can't find a babysitter for the entire weekend, but I can get somebody to keep him for a couple hours each day if you come to Atlanta to see me. I'm like, wait, so if I fly to Atlanta and stay the weekend, you gonna make time for me? She's like, yeah, I'll kick with you the whole time. But I just can't go, 3 days gone with my son. But I can get somebody to watch him, Saturday and Sunday or whatever. I'm like, oh, bet, say less. I'm about to book a room and a flight right now. I'll let you know. She's like, cool. I get my flight. I get my room, right? I'm staying at the W. I didn't got spoiled with the Arizona joint. So I booked the room at the W or whatever. I got a flight on Spirit. I ain't going front. It was dirt cheap and it was a straight flight. It was the only one that was with no connecting. So I buy everything. I hit her like, yo, got my room, got my flight. This is when I land, you know what I mean? I'm going to see you then. She's like, cool. I bet. That was like maybe a week, 6 days away. I pack my bags, go to the airport. When I get to the airport, they're like, you got a mask? I'm like, no, I got a medical condition. She's like, let me see your ID. I'm like, all right, give her my ID. She walks away, comes back, hands me the ID, like, we can't let you on a flight with your medical condition. I was like, all right, man, fine. Just give me the mask. I'll just wear it. She's like, no, we can't let you on at all. I'm like, why? She was like, because your medical condition might affect the rest of the passengers. I'm like, man, ain't nobody want, I'll be all right, da-da-da. I'm like, thinking, I can't miss this flight. I already got a room and everything. Like, you crazy. This is Friday. I'm like, nah, go get your supervisor. She's like, all right, I'll be right back. So she goes to get her supervisor. I just take off. I'm nervous as hell. I'm thinking, yo, they not gonna let me on a plane. Like, I'm gonna be on a no-fly list. Like, it's gonna be something crazy. Watch. So I make it through all the checkpoints. The first one where they scan your ID and I get past there. Go through the metal detectors, no problem. I'm like, oh shit. Get to the gate, scan my boarding pass, no problem. Like, oh, I'm in the clear. So when I go to sit down, I'm like, if I sit in this seat that I'm assigned to, I know they're going to kick me off this plane for some reason. I should sit somewhere else. And as soon as I was going to move to the middle seat, the dude sitting there came and sat down. So I was like, oh, fuck. So I'm sitting in my seat chilling. I got my AirPods in, but they not on. I hear them like, we're looking for a passenger, and they're saying my name. I'm like, oh my God. I just keep ignoring it. Like, yeah. Like, going once, going twice, last call. Is there a passenger? Da-da-da. I'm like, I don't say nothing. They're like, all right, we're closing the boarding gate. Da-da-da. I'm cool. So I'm sitting there. Dude walks up, and he's like, I'm like trying to look out the window like this, like, and he's tapping a dude, and the dude taps me. I'm like, huh? I take out the AirPod, like, what's up? He's like, yo, are you Mike? I'm like, yeah. He was like, could you come with us real quick? I'm like, let me grab my bag. He's like, no, just leave it there. I'm like, oh, come on. He's like, yo, you had an issue at the gate or something about a medical condition? I'm like, yeah, I got my mask, da-da-da. And it was a black dude, a young black dude, like maybe like early 30s. He was like, yeah, son. I was like, can I keep it real with you? He was like, I just don't want to wear the mask, bro. I don't got no medical condition. He was like, all right, nigga, get on the plane. I was like, good luck, bro. He was like, I figured that, man. You good. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, yes. I get on the plane. I'm like, finally. So I text her yo, about to take off my flight. See you soon. Boom, hit send. Goes through, delivered. I'm like, cool. Get on a flight. I land. When I land, I call her. It goes right to voicemail. I'm like, damn. Call her again, goes right to voicemail. So I text her. Green bubbles. I'm like, that's strange. I'm like, hold on. Call from my other phone. Or no, sorry. I get on Instagram. Type in her name. No user found. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So I'm like, I should call her from my other phone because she don't got that number. That ain't blocked. I call. Hello? I was like, wow. Click. Blocked on that number too. I'm like, yo, that's really crazy. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is 3 weekends in a row. Like, I cannot win. Like, what? Am I fucking cursed? I'm pissed, right? I'm like, you know what? I ain't even about to let this ruin my trip. I'm here. It's Atlanta. I'm about to make the most of it. I'm like, I got people down here. I'm going to have a ball. Fuck that. I get my Uber to the hotel. I'm talking to the dude. He's like, yeah, it's popping down here. It's like 10 chicks to every one dude. I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, but you got to be careful, man. AIDS is crazy down here. I'm like, oh, damn, I ain't want to hear that. You know what I mean? So I remember not packing any T-shirts on the flight because I just took a carry-on. And I was like, I'll just buy them when I get down there. So all I had was the white T-shirt I had, and I had a Nautica sweatshirt that I was just going to wear the next day to run to the mall or to Target or something to get white tees. Because this is 4th of July in Atlanta. It's blistering hot. Humidity's crazy. I'm wearing white tees the whole time. I get to my hotel. I check in at the W. The restaurant upstairs closed. I'm staying in the one in Buckhead across from the Lenox Mall. I go down to the receptionist. I'm like, yo, is there anything to eat around? He was like, nah, the restaurant just closed. Sorry. I'm like, damn, all right. I go on my phone. I see there's a Del Frisco's right around the corner, like a half a block. I'm like, oh, I'm going there. They got 2 Del Frisco's in Atlanta. Maybe 3, but I know for sure 2. That one is kind of like a more like loungy Del Frisco's, like rush hour. I mean, like happy hour, lunch rush, like not really the sit down fancy one. And then the other one somewhere else in Atlanta is the big one that is like the fancy joint. So I go in there, I sit at the bar, order a big ass T-bone or a New York strip, something like that, some shrimp. I mean, good, right? The bartender, we still friends on Instagram too. Her name is Dom. She fine as hell. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker, she all right. I already got played. What's up? How you doing? I'm talking to her. What's going on tonight? I need to find a club. I ain't got no plans. She's like, oh, you should check out these places. Gives me a list of places to check out. I'm like, yo, why don't you come with me? You know what I'm saying? Or meet me there or something. I don't know nobody here. I'm just trying to kick it or whatever. She's like, oh, I'm tired. It's late. Now in hindsight, I'm like, oh, she probably thinking like, this nigga gonna kill me or kidnap me or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't going with him. You know what I mean? But I wasn't thinking about it because I'm not that kind of person. So I don't be looking at it like, well, these women got to be careful out here because dudes are like that. So I wasn't really looking at it from that lens, but that's probably what it was. She turned me down. I'm like, nah, that's all good. I'm going to go out. Thanks. I Uber to the, you know what I'm saying, the club. I go on by myself or whatever. I'm having a good time. And I remember I had put the Beijing on the day I flew to Atlanta. So it was crispy. I was sweating so much in the club that the Beijing juice had dripped and stained the white T-shirt. It looked like somebody spilled coffee on me. When I came outside, someone was like, oh, you got something all over your shirt? I'm like, oh, yeah, somebody bumped it to me and I spilled my drink on myself. They're like, oh, okay. I'm like, damn. So now I got all this Beijing down in front of my shirt. I'm looking for stragglers leaving out the club. Like, oh, can I score tonight? Nothing. Get in the Uber, go back to the room or whatever. The next day I get up, I'm walking across the street to go to Lenox Mall. All I got on is that Nautica sweatshirt because the white tee I had is stained up. It's like 98 degrees out. I'm smelting. I'm like, bro, that little walk across the street felt like 2 miles. I'm like, yo, I go in there, and this is during COVID, so every store has a line. You can only let in so many people at a time, 6 feet apart. I'm trying to go get a shirt from Lacoste. The line is long as hell when I get in there. Ain't nothing in there I want. I'm like, man, you know what? Fuck no. Matter of fact, I was leaving, and I found a black one at the last minute. I'm like, oh, this is hot. I buy the Lacoste shirt, black Lacoste shirt. I grab that joint. I'm like, I'm going to wear this tonight. Then I go to Target, get some white T-shirts or whatever, finally come back to the room. I'm hitting up everybody I know in Atlanta. Nobody available. I call my sister, Anshay. She like, yo, I know ain't nobody tell you this. I kind of kept it on the wraps, but I'm pregnant. I'm like, Anshay, you 40. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, I know, but it just happened. Me and my husband were expecting, and she was like, and I'm at a high-risk pregnancy. So you can come out here, but I'm scared of COVID, and I got the baby and all. I was like, The Uber was like $75 to get to where she lived at. I was like, nah, I'm not coming out there to talk to you from the back porch. I'll catch you next trip. So I'm like, damn, ain't nothing to do. I'm like, I got to find something to do. So I hit my man up, GQ. He lived down there. He's a DJ. I'm like, yo, what's popping? He's like, yo, there's a day party here. It was at a place called Republic Lounge. I found out later the owner of Republic Lounge and Compound is the same person. And a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I think his brother got killed by a friend of theirs. Rest in peace to that man. I didn't know him, but it was tragic. You know, this was like a dude they brought in, showed him mad love, and he ended up taking the life of one of the owners. And so the brother ended up shutting both clubs down, but they're right next door to each other, Compound and Republic. I go to the day party at Republic. It's lit. I'm like, oh, this is popping, right? Then they say, yo, I'm like, yo, what's the move after this? I'm asking anybody, what's next? They're like, yo, we going to Compound next. And then after that close, we coming back here to Republic on the inside because they have it in after hours. I'm like, bet. I go right, the compound or whatever after the day party. I catch an Uber back to my room. I change. I put on the Lacoste. I go into, in the compound when I get back, bro, they got a swimming pool in the middle of the joint. Google it if you don't believe me. There's a swimming pool in the middle of compound during COVID. It was crazy. I'm like, yo, this is wild. But I'm in compound having a good time. Everything is lit. Leave out of compound. We going back next door to Republic. I'm in line, but I don't got no cash for me. I'm paying with my card. So what they're doing is they're taking my card and they're walking inside and swiping it and bringing it back out. So while I'm waiting for them to come back out with my card, I turn around and I see Busta Rhymes behind me in line. I'm like, yo, you Busta Rhymes? He's like, oh, what up, beloved? Something like that. I'm like, yo, I'm a big fan, man. You a legend. I grew up on your music. I'm like, why they got you waiting in line like a normal person? He's like, nah, it's all good. I'm like, that's crazy. He like, yeah, whatever. I guess I was so chill when he fucked with like my vibe. He was like, yo, who you here with? I was like, nah, I'm by myself. Came to me to shorty, it ain't work out. He's like, you with me tonight. Not like that. Like, I don't want y'all to think it like that. Like, yo, you kicking it with me tonight. And it was him and his boys. I'm like, I bet. I'm thinking we about to go in there, have a section VIP. It's going to be crazy. Nah. He was on some straight New York shit. He right at the bar, general population with everybody else. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling with Busta Bus. And I remember some dude walked up, like his man. I'm pretty sure it was a security, but it looked like just one of his boys who was just a big dude. Was like, yo, push dude back or whatever. Like, yo, back up, da-da-da. He's like, oh, my bad. I just want to tell you, I'm a fan. I want to get a picture. He's like, nah, we ain't doing that, back up. So in my mind, I'm thinking, damn, he must really fuck with me because he invited me to come hang with him. He kicking everybody else away from me. So that dude at some point sees me in the night and was like, bro, you lucky as hell, man. Like, that's your boy. I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? What you talking about? He's like, yo, man, you gotta spit something for him. I'm like, bro, what makes you think I even rap? He's like, you don't rap? I'm like, nah. He's like, man, you need to. That's the perfect person to put you on. I'm like, I'm glad they kicked you out or pushed you back, bro. You on some weirdo shit. So I go back, we drinking and shit all, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, what you drinking, Bus? He tells me I buy his drink, right? We have a drink, we toast, boom, appreciate you, da-da-da. So now I'm a hit and I need to start like sobering up a little bit. So I'm like, yo, I need a water. I buy water and then he ordered a bunch of waters and set them out on the counter. So at one point there was like 2 waters left and I had already drunk the one I bought. I was like, shit, I'm drinking one of these. And I drunk it. After it was done, he turned around like, yo, you drunk one of my waters? I'm like, nah, what you talking about? I'm like, I had my own water. He's like, I had 2 waters. There was only one left. I was like, I don't know, bro. I ain't drink. Why would I drink your water? I'm like, I bought you a drink. Like, I could afford a water. He was like, oh, no, it's all good. I just thought you drunk it. I'm like, nah, I didn't. I did drink it. Busta Rhymes, if you seen this, I drunk the water. I was thirsty, bro. I was getting hungover. Then there's some shorties over there talking to us or whatever. She flirting with me and all this. And then she seated this Busta Rhymes that I'm with. And she just is like, yo, I'm going to roll with him. I'm like, hey, yo, that's crazy. Like, luckily I ain't buy her no drinks or nothing, but I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm having the most L's that I've ever took in my life. But I'm like, you know what? I'm having a good time. Party with Busta Bus the rest of the night. It was dope, man. He was cool as hell. We had a blast or whatever. When we leave and I get in the Uber, go back to my room, I go to sleep. The next night is the last night I'm supposed to be there. I'm going back to Republic for Sunday. They have like something on Sunday. And I had met a bartender there, and I'm one of them dudes that when I don't really go to strip clubs, but I know when you go to a strip club, it's the stripper's job to sell you a fantasy, make you feel like she really likes you. I didn't think bartenders and bottle girls did the same thing. I learned that in Atlanta. This chick was flirting with me. Oh my God, you're handsome. Like, what's your Instagram? All this stuff. Nah, she just trying to get her tips up. So I'm thinking she really liked me. She's like, come back tomorrow. I want to see you. I'm like, I bet. I come back to Republic on Sunday. I'm having a blast with her. I decide, you know what? I'm going to order a bottle of Rosé Moet. I'm going to drink this. I don't want to drink too much because I got a flight early in the morning. I'm going to just bang with the champagne. I don't know. I drank the whole bottle of champagne and then was drinking mad shots, tipping her like crazy, spending all this kind of bread. And I forgot about this. Earlier that day, I asked her to go to lunch with me. She was like, yeah. When I show up, she's there with her friend, and I pay for all their bills. Like, dog, the more I think about these stories, the more of a nut ass nigga I was. Like, I'm trying to be like on some cool shit. I pay for my food and their food. And then she left with her cousin, like, I'll see you tonight, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, just playing with me, dog. Like, super this demonic behavior out there in the ATL. But so anyways, I get wasted on Sunday. I get back to the room at like 4 a.m. My flight is at 10. So I got to get to the airport about 8. It's 4 a.m. I said, I'm going to just lay down till 7. I'm going to get up and shower, get dressed, and then get an Uber to the airport. I woke up, it was 2 p.m. What made me think I was going to sleep from 4 to 7 and get up on time after I done washed a whole bottle of Moet and a bunch of shots? Boy, I just woke up and was like, oh my God, I was supposed to be out the room at 12. I had to extend the room another day, pay extra money to change my flight again. That ended up costing me another $250 or something like that. I just laid in the bed and didn't do nothing all day and made sure I was ready to go home the next day. I fly back to LA or whatever. I just charged it to the game. I told my homegirl at the time what happened. She's cracking up like, yo, you could not win. I'm like, bro, this is like, what is going on? So then fast forward, I told this same story on Instagram during like 2021. I was doing the Chronicles on there first. And then I decided to move them to YouTube as a better platform. But when I told the story on Instagram, my man KB, who I was with when I met that girl who blocked me, was like, yo, she did something similar like that to me. I'm like, yo, you used to talk to her? He was like, yeah, I thought you knew that. I'm like, no. He was like, yeah, she did the same thing to me. That's crazy. I'm like, yo, what? He's like, yeah, she got a whole family. I still follow her on Instagram. She's with dude and everything. Like, they happy and all that. I'm like, hey, dog, what? I think that she thought that I wasn't going to really buy a ticket to come see her and was just talking. And then when I did, she got backed into a corner and had to clip me because she ain't going to get jammed up by her dude. She just flirting with me and having, you know, being funny or whatever, but then it got too serious for her. So that was an L, but at least I got to meet Busta Rhymes, party with him, have a good time. But again, I got no cheeks. I was in a drought for real. So that concludes the 3-part series about my 3-weekend extravaganza where I just stacked up the L's all crazy. So you ever see that meme where they do this? That's me. So before I get out of here, man, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, tell a friend, man. Any support you contribute to, that you contribute to the channel is greatly appreciated because it helps me grow my audience. And I love the support, man. So until next time, these are the Chronicles of Mike Murphy with your narrator, comedian Mike Murphy.